So this UK drill rapper, currently serving 5 years for possession of a firearm, has just received a nomination for the 2026 Grammys. Yes, the Grammys, Oscars, you know, all them things there. It's real, and he's currently sitting in prison. So how on earth did this happen? What's going on here? Well, keep watching the video to find out, my people, and give it a like. Let's get that out of the way. And also, happy Armistice Day to everybody. I've been wearing my poppy since I saw them available outside, actually. When I first saw a store giving them, I donated and obviously took a couple of poppies. Not just wearing them in the videos, I was wearing them outside as well. And on Twitter as well, I was atted and asked why I was wearing the poppy in my videos. And I just thought I'd give you guys a little, you know, explanation before we get into this one. In primary school, we all obviously learned the poppies, the poppy fields, but everybody wears the poppies for their own reason. There was a lady on LBC who was talking about wearing a poppy, a purple poppy, to honor the animals that were lost in the World Wars. But I replied and said I wear the poppy to remember the Grenadians who died in World War I and World War II, because obviously I'm Grenadian, for those of you guys that didn't know. And she hit back at me saying that Grenadians were forced to fight in a war that was against our own interests, which is a very fair rebuttal, and I understand that, I hear that, but everybody wears the poppy for different reasons. I'm wearing it to honor the fallen Grenadian soldiers and Caribbean soldiers who were forced into this war, well, the 2 world wars. And no matter what race you are, we all lost soldiers to those wars, and that's a time where we can all come together and honor the dead, honor the deceased, who technically fought for the world that we live in today. And I'll give you guys a timestamp on the screen if you want to skip this little monologue, if we're going to call it that. But World War II was against my people's interests. Because I'll tell you guys this, my great-grandfather accumulated a lot of wealth during this time. That's the reason on my island my family name holds weight to this day. And it's because during World War II, when France surrendered, Germany said, yeah, listen, you lot surrendered, so everything that's yours is ours now. What you got for us, bro? And France is like, oh, we have baguettes. We're like, bro, take your baguettes. We don't want your dead bread, bro. What you got for us? France said, oh, we've got things in Africa. Yeah, we've been there already. We got that already, bro. What else you got for us? They said, well, in the Caribbean, we have our Caribbean. Where's that? What's that? You got islands there? I man them? Yo. There's islands in the Caribbean for us. Go over there and grab that. So Germany heads to the Caribbean and wants to claim what France has claimed, even though it belongs to none of them. And Germany is at war with England at this time. And this is what my granddad has told me, you know, direct from source. And Grenada was colonized by England, previously colonized by France, but at the time colonized by England. And England did nothing for us. You know, they didn't build anything for us. They just extracted. They restricted business and they just took tax. And that tax was to go to the now called Commonwealth, but back then the British Empire. That was 3/4 of the world at one point. My great-grandfather had a few ships. He had a few boats, and the British were just taxing the hell out of him, restricting him, not wanting him to grow too big, you know, just hindering his progress. But the Germans arrive in the Caribbean, you know, they're seeing what France had. They're like, this is paradise, bruv. What the hell? This is ours now. They go past Grenada on the way, and they see some British boats, and they're like, you lot are the ops. We man doing this. So they sink the British boats. And this is how my great-grandfather accumulated his wealth, because he had his boats. The British had no boats anymore. There was exceptional, extreme demand. And I forgot what oil it was. I don't know if it was kerosene or something like that, but he said he could fit like 40 or 50 on each boat, and they were paying like 3 ECD, East Caribbean dollars, for every barrel you could take. And now I think the exchange rate is like £1 gets you like 3.5 ECD, maybe less now. Maybe it's weaker against the pound because the pound's kind of got weaker. But that was how he went clear. That's how my family went clear. So of course, Britain winning that war was not in our best interests. You know what I mean? But it's where we are now. It's what happened. And it's kind of split. You know, if you talk to older Grenadians, there's some who love Britain, it's the motherland, and there's some who are like my family that are like, hey, listen, we got to the bag when them man cut. Listen, do you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just thought I'd include that there. But let's get into the video now. So Bando K is Mark Duggan's son. Mark Duggan was shot by police officers in Tottenham, which sparked the London riots, which was a very big deal. But Bando K was arrested at Gatwick in January 2024. Real name Kamani Duggan, who uses the stage name Bando K, was due to appear at Wood Green Crown Court on February 13th, 2024. But he was arrested at Gatwick on Saturday, the 13th of January by the Metropolitan Police. He was charged with possession of a prohibited weapon, handgun, and possession of ammunition without a license. And Bando K blew up like 7 years ago. I remember the Next Up, this was the first song I heard from him. I remember my brethren was playing it and I'm like, who is that? This is cold. And he's like, it's the OFB Youngers, bro. Bando K, double L's, SJ.
Every time should have said sorry, get real close.
And what's so sad about this trio, because they were really going clear, they were doing exceptional. And their older, Heady One of the biggest rappers in the UK, one of the most successful drill rappers in the UK, you guys know him. They had a great example to follow, but it just all went wrong. SJ is serving 20 years or 25 years, I forgot how long it is, for a murder. And Double L's ended up getting arrested for a fight in Selfridges, which was brutal. At the time I was reporting, I didn't realize how bad the fight actually was. But rumors say that he ended up cooperating with the police. I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't want to call anyone a snitch, bro. But he ended up getting de-recruited for that reason. Nobody's confirmed this, but that is what the talk is. And Double L's has a daughter. You know, he had to put his daughter first, and I respect that. But Bando K was remanded since, and this is a video of him in prison. You know, there he is. Bando K, there he is in jail. And, you know, people are probably thinking, oh, look at this idiot smiling in jail, you know, when you had the world at his feet. But what else you meant to do in jail, bro? You just got to cope. I mean, you're there now. You've had your sentence. The judge has said, sentence, what are you gonna do, cry when you're in there the whole time? If we are not monsters, we're food. And he had just dropped his album Mark, which, you know, made around real killers. That was, you know, to be in remembrance for his father. The whole promotion for that album, there was an interview he did where he, you know, started tearing up when he got vulnerable, talking about how his dad passing affected him. Spotify's just bugging. I hate Spotify on PC so much. It's not freaking loading. It's got to load now, innit? Nah, it's not. Why does this happen, bro? Why is Spotify on PC so shit? But he ended up pleading guilty to possessing a Tokarev pistol and 22 bulleted cartridges with intent to cause fear of violence. And that's better than intent to murder. I think Bando K dodged a bullet here, because we have covered the KO case and the Billy Billions case, where they weren't even at the scene, but they were wrapped up in murder conspiracies, firearm conspiracies, and given like 40 crazy, absolutely crazy sentences. And we're still waiting to hear more about Billy Billions' case, you know, because the police fabricated evidence in that case. That's not right. Not saying Billy Billions is an angel, but when it comes to a miscarriage of justice, we cannot let that run. You know, that is not okay. But he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. And what does a Tokarev pistol look like? It was a former Russian pistol, it said. I like guns. That looks like a nice gun, bro. It looks like a nice gun. I used to go shooting all the time when I went to Prague. Guns are a great way to defend yourself. If guns were legal in this country, best believe I'd have a gun on my waist right now. And his associate, Abdu Bojang, 22, from Hackney, East London, was jailed for the same term after pleading guilty. The Old Bailey heard the two defendants were charged after police raided his Cody's parents' flat in Hackney on the 21st of March last year. This article was written in 2024. So they must have raided it before he came back. Maybe they got him when he landed at Gatwick Airport. The firearm and ammunition were discovered in a communal underground car park on a concrete ledge inside a JD sports bag, which also contained 2 foot-long knives. And I think they're talking about this car park. Hold on. Here we go. You lot see it. Because Broadwater Farm, you know, it's one of them estates. It's got one way in, one way out. There's no reason for you to be there if you don't live there. It was probably this iconic car park that we see all the time. There's forensic officers over there. They've shot multiple videos in this car park. Bando K's DNA was found on the gun slide, and he was arrested at Gatwick Airport on the 13th of January. A Snapchat photo of the same gun was also discovered on his phone. God damn it, man. And this guy was blowing up at the time. He was blowing up. Just before the weapon was found, his Cody messaged Bando K, "Yo, bro, where are you? The feds in my block act. I might be getting nicked." Prosecutor Diana Wilson said Bando K was a well-known drill rapper linked to the OFB criminal gang based on the Broadwater Farm estate in Tottenham, North London. And this is Diana Wilson. This is the prosecutor who put him away. Diana prosecutes and defends serious and organized crime matters. She is also instructed in cases involving complex or novel legal points, especially in human rights arguments, including on appeal. Yeah, man. No remorse, bro. Like, don't you find it mad? Like, she's giving guys 5 years, probably got guys like 25 years, and she goes home, sleeps at night. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Life as a barrister is mad. She said the prosecution expert has concluded that there is no question that over the years he is an elder or senior gang member in OFB. One consequence of this is that he would naturally be at heightened risk of violence from rival gang members. This would be additionally heightened by his status as a successful drill rapper and the son of Mark Duggan, which raises his profile to would-be attackers. As a result of his fame, he has become a target for violence from others associated with urban street gangs. She said that Bando K's plea was made on the basis that he was given the firearm and ammunition to protect himself. He claimed he would have only carried the gun to scare any prospective aggressor away. At sentencing, Judge Philip Katz KC, let's see if we can find a picture of them. I think this is the judge. I think this is the judge, bro. Yeah, my man, bro. bro, this is the same judge that sentenced Billy Billions. Yeah, bro, yeah, man, it's just peak. It's just peak. You can just look at certain people and just think, yeah, you ain't gonna give me an inch. But that's a quick backstory of why Bando K is in jail, and he is home soon. He'll be home in like a year. You know, he pleaded guilty, a third off, maybe do half, who knows. Let me know in the comment section below when you think Bando K will be home. But I saw this post on UKL's story. Hold on a second, that's the wrong one. It's this one, and it shows Grammy nominations. It says Bando K has been nominated for a Grammy. Can one of the HMP govs show my brother that 1-0 type love so he can celebrate? Well done. And if we zoom in here, you can see Bando K over there. B. I love how they do alphabetical order and I still can't find it. Bando K and UK drill rapper legend LD 6'7", the man who made Church, one of the greatest drill songs of all time. If you're new to UK drill, you want to dive into some of the lore, listen to Church, listen to Let's Lurk. I mean, how have you not heard Let's Lurk? But UKL explains how he was nominated for a Grammy. He gives an example. In 5 years, one of the new gen rappers decides to sample reggae and calypso by Russ, Bunny and YV, and the new gen rapper's song gets Grammy nominated. YV would be entitled to a Grammy also. So Bando K's song with LD was sampled by Fred again. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about Fred again. He's making waves, he's doing bits. Well, the song Too Many Lies, which was featured on Bando K's last album featuring LD, was featured on a song by Fred again and Sampha called Fearless. Now the song Fearless, I mean, I think the song's ass, to be honest. It's not ass, it's just not really my cup of tea. I shouldn't say ass. The song itself wasn't nominated for a Grammy, but the album that the song was on was nominated for Best Dance / Electronic Album. Fred again, 10 Days. That is how Bando K has a Grammy nomination. Now this is still a big deal, and I'm sure Bando K would love to be out and just be, imagine being able to say, yo, I got a Grammy nomination, bro. Like, you come from the hood, you come from London, bro. Now, this is still a big deal. We're not going to undermine this achievement. Big up Bando K, big up LD. I hope when you come home, Bando K, you think about the fact that you weren't able to be outside celebrating your Grammy nomination because you're in jail for some foolishness, bruv. And it is foolishness, bro. It's foolishness at the end of the day. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. Thank you. Actually, Chung Lee, you know, you've been silent. You haven't been moving today. What do you think about this whole situation? Chung Lee says he has nobody else to blame but himself. And yeah, Chung Lee's just been keeping it very raw recently. Very raw. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. Thank you. Hey.